Okay, welcome back to Let's Play Wartales episode 27. So I was asked specifically about willpower, how that works on units. As you can see, I like to get to 20 on all my units as much as possible. Some of them I might drop it a bit from the expectation that I'm going to be getting it later from something else. So like him at 18, I'm going to be getting another point from having a bard anyway. A bard who's playing the lute all the time. So, but most of the time I would like to have 20, and definitely getting more than 20 is worthwhile. I mean, I prefer to focus on critical hit. It's just the way I play, but willpower is actually the best damage stat in the game from how galvanization works at the moment. So at the moment, this is your morale bar here. And the morale bar tells you the difference in willpower between all of the units. Well, the difference in willpower that you have, or the amount of willpower that you have comparatively to the total on the battlefield itself. So I'd explained this when I captured somebody. It was a small explanation. I may have explained it another way also, but basically you reach galvanization when you have a total of 70% of all the willpower on the battlefield. So as you kill people, their willpower is taken away from the total willpower. Obviously, and if your people died, it would also be taken away from the total willpower. And then once you hit 70%, you gain galvanization. There is a unit that stops galvanization for one faction. He has a passive like that, but that's the only unit that would ever do that to you. So you can realistically rely on having very high willpower in order to proc galvanization very early in a battle. And I actually have high enough willpower to proc it relatively early, but if you had even higher, you can proc it even earlier. Some people are able to proc it after 2 or 3 kills. You know, even on large teams, they kill only 2 or 3 enemies and boom, they proc galvanization and get 50% more damage per hit. So it's a huge increase. And then at 90% of the total willpower, it's that they want to flee. So that's how willpower works. It's relatively simple, and it's why I always like to go approximately to 20, because nobody's actually going to have 20 on the other side, right? So I mean, I could go through calculating the whole thing in order to show you that it would take a long time. They're going to have anywhere between 5 and 15. Most of the time they're between 10 and 15. As you can see just by looking at it, I haven't found a single one under 10. Animals, you're likely to have guys who are under 10, as we had seen during the Let's Play, but for people, it's basically 10 to 15. So that's basically how you can count it, 10 to 15. So about 12 and a half multiplied by the number of people that there is. And that's how galvanization works. When you capture units, their willpower is not taken away from the total pool of willpower. That's why I explained it when I captured people, because you will have a lot less chance of hitting galvanization if you're capturing a lot of people in a battle, because there won't be enough, you know, since they stay on. If their willpower is enough to make up for 30%, then you're never going to actually hit galvanization before killing them, or the creatures flee. So that's how that works. And as I said, I like to have willpower, but you can definitely pump that willpower up even higher than that if you wanted. I'll usually go with crit hit once I've got, you know, my 18 to 20 move, 18 to 20 willpower, and then start going crit hit in my units. But you could realistically do 12 to 14 move with your units, and then just pump willpower all into willpower. Don't even bother with critical hit, and you'll be hitting galvanization very early in most every battle except the one that has the units with their passive, or in the case of the huge battles. Of course, in the case of the huge battle, if you check it at the 2-hour mark, I hit galvanization just before the 2-hour mark, and I explain about morale also. So what I was explaining about morale in there, just to reiterate it here in smaller form. When you have things that say morale, you gain 1 extra morale per kill. Like we have a buff right now that gives us 1 extra morale per kill. I can actually show it to you right away. And I've see what happened. I almost destroyed my team just from doing that. Leaving once, I almost killed my whole team. There's people who left and everything. People who fled the team and so on. Not that it matters anyway. But here we go. All right, in here, where is it? Well, somewhere in here, somewhere in this list, you can just pause the list and just look down it. I don't know where it is. No. Somewhere in this list, it says that I gain 1 extra morale per kill. Here we go. Each enemy killed, it's on the right-hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. The 6th one. Each enemy killed increases morale by 1 additional point. So that extra morale that you're getting from that isn't a 1-for-1 to willpower. So morale is actually worth more than willpower, as we saw from the big battle, where after killing 103 units, so there were 75 left. 104 actually was, if I recall correctly, 179 units in total. That one 178 plus their leader. So after killing 103 or 104 units, I galvanized, which there was 75 units left, and I had only 15. So we know for a fact that if it was just a 1-for-1, that's 103 willpower plus my 15 times 20. I mean, it's a bit under, but that's okay. 300 is 403. 403, 75 multiplied by 10 is 750. So there was no way that I had reached 70%, but the morale itself was climbing up this bar. So it's not actually being added to the willpower pool. It's its own thing that's being added to this bar. Morale will be creeping up. As long as you're gaining morale, you'll be creeping up this, regardless of how close you are to the 70%. You know, you could be really far from the 70%, but each kill is going to be creeping up that morale. So if you have there is a belt accessory that gives you 1 extra morale per person killed for that particular unit. Having that is actually better than I thought it was. I thought it was just a 1-for-1, but from that battle, I saw that it wasn't. So it's actually pretty good if you're killing a lot. If you're killing a lot of units with 1 unit, you can hit your galvanization quite quickly from him being the one who has that, plus having high willpower. But otherwise, it's just, you know, having high willpower and getting to that 70% in your normal battles, you'll be able to hit it quite easily. So I hope that was helpful. If anybody has any other questions or wants me to do something on a specific topic, just let me know in any of the videos. Just, you know, give me a comment, and I'll do a video that touches on that particular topic. Thanks a lot, and have a good one, guys.